around that are maybe seem mundane, but I see the beauty in it, and I think people will see the beauty in it when you see my photography, because where we live here in Texas, I'm not going to say it's ugly, but it's not the Grand Canyon, it's not San Francisco, it's not New York. It's kind of mundane, but there are a lot of beautiful things in this area around Dallas and Fort Worth and West Texas that are beautiful, and I try to capture those things, and I call it Southside of Heaven, but it's where we live. We live on the South Side of Heaven, and there's beauty here, and I just try to capture it in beauty in the mundane things.
Let me vouch for him. We were out on a shoot the other day, and we were standing in a cornfield, and I've never seen anybody more excited to take pictures in a cornfield than Bill Stipp, Shawn. It was, he was
and those were beautiful pictures.
And they were beautiful pictures. There was beautiful pictures. The sunset was great. So,
oh shucks.
Exactly. Now, Bill, in some of the shots, I know you have a special passion for old, farmhouse style old churches,
right?
And I know you've got a pretty big catalog of those. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I've been taking pictures of old churches for about 5 or 6 years. It's just kind of it really interests me, the architecture of it. My family is from German ancestor. And a lot of these churches were built by Germans and Swedes when they came here to Texas, the hill country. There's a lot of German, Swedish immigrants. And these churches were built, and they built them to represent and look and remind them of where they came from. There's a church east of Austin. It's called, I can't even remember the name of it, but it is a beautiful Swedish-looking church. And they built these big, tall steeples. And the reason they built the church was the center of the community. And the steeple was put there so people could see the church and go there. And that was the focal point. So they're just a neat thing as a Texan. The churches here are just amazing to me. Some of the old churches that were built in the 1800s.
And I know that we would take trips to College Station, and for us, we usually go down 35 and cut across Highway 6, or even trips to Austin, but you always take the back roads because that's how you would find some of these places. And so I'm interested in, really knowing the process of when you find a site that you or a building that you want to take a picture of, and then how does it go from that to going to a display and exhibit that we're going to have? Like, what's the process for something like that?
Well, if I find something I really want to take a picture of, I try to go there when the light's best for it and find where the light comes from so you get the best light on the subject. But also, there's one church, it's the one that's on the invitation, and you'll see it at the show. It's going to be a big print.
We'll post it on social media,
too.
Right.
Yeah.
I have photographed that church probably 7 times in 7 different. I just drive down there in the evening.
And where is it?
It's in Grantsville Gap, Texas, and it's a Norwegian church. And it doesn't even have electricity. It sits up on this hill, and it's just a beautiful place. It's very serene and peaceful. And that's what I like about these things. I'm usually out there by myself, sitting in wet grass, waiting on the sun to rise or waiting on the sun to set, and it's just very peaceful and calm, because usually the places I go to take pictures, there's nobody there. And that's part of the neatness of it to me, is just to be in these cool places. But I have taken that church picture 7 different times, and the hero that I really like is the last time I shot it, this storm blew in, and I didn't think I was going to get anything, and then it just turned out beautiful. So photography, you just got to wait on the light, find the direction and angle to shoot it, and snap the pictures. Now, I don't like to plan a lot. I like just to show it and see what happens,
Just take a lot of pictures.
Just take a lot of pictures.
That's good. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that you've passed along this passion for creativity to your daughter, Kate, who we also get to work with,
right,
who's a great colleague of ours. And congratulations. Do you think you'll pass it along to your upcoming next generation, the 9th generation of the Stipps in Texas, your future grandchild?
My grandson will be an artist.
You heard it here first, Kate.
His dad is an artist too. So
well, I come from an artistic family. I've got a nephew who's got works of art in the museum the Modern in Fort Worth, the museum here in Dallas, the Whitney in New York, or is it Whitney, New York, or Minnesota, wherever. He's got it up in the Whitney. So I come from a long line of a lot of artists in my family. One of my nephews is a graphic designer and plays guitar for a band that travels all over the country. So it's just kind of an artistic family.
Very cool.
Well, we want everyone to come out and see Bill's work. The exhibit is called Southside of Heaven. We are having a one-day showing here at Allyn Media on Thursday, September 19th. From 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And our address here at Allyn Media, where the Worldwide Headquarters Studios is 3838 Oakline Avenue, Suite 400. And if you are able to join us, we would love for you to RSVP to Carol Ring at 214-871-7723. Or you can send us an email to invite@allynmedia.com.
Bill, thanks for joining us today.
Thank
we
you.
really appreciate it.
It's been fun.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back, Sean Williams, Ryan Trimble. Ryan, that was a really informative time and a time to learn and a time to get excited about the work of Bill Stipp.
Yeah, I love going and seeing Bill, and when he needs something from you go back into his office, and it's like walking into a scene from Lonesome Dove.
Yeah, because we did record in Bill's office this time, actually.
That's
so
right.
That was nice. And you may have heard the creaking chairs that seemed like they would be in a saloon somewhere back from the old days, because my chair was a little creaky.
There's an old cow skull looking over my shoulder, and I've got the guys from Tombstone pointing guns at me. So it was he's a character. He's a good man, and really one of the greats in the creative field in Dallas.
And we really want to make sure that you join us again on Thursday, September 19th here at Allyn Media for Southside of Heaven. That's going to be from 4 to 7 p.m., 3838 Oakline Avenue, Suite 400. And call Carol Ring. Let her know you're going to be here, 214-871-7723, or invite@allynmedia.com.
Now, Sean, before we go, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the great Dallas Cowboy performance on Sunday.
That was an amazing performance. Like, when the game started, the Giants kind of ran down the field, and I was like, and scored a touchdown. I thought, you know what, this might be a pretty competitive game. Let's see. And the Cowboys commenced to opening up a can on the
I
Giants.
think that's the accurate assessment of the situation. Yeah. What a game. I mean, everybody got a touch. Everybody got involved. It was like an offense I've never seen before. So thank you, Kellen Moore, for bringing your offensive mind. That it's that wacky Boise State stuff, man.
I think it's Boise State is a big part of it. His dad was a coach. I think these younger coaches think about it differently. I mean, it's like the whole Xbox, PlayStation, Madden generation, man, that you get to do all these wacky things. And perfect passer rating for Dak Prescott. And if you look at how this team has been constructed, I mean, these are all guys who are, most of the key players are under the age of 26. I mean, we got to see Jason Witten come back and have a good game, but Jarwin, I think it's Blake Jarwin, man, he looked amazing out there on the field at tight end.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this Cowboys team, man, it's one game. You don't want to jump ahead. The Saints looked good last night. The Rams look great. The Chiefs are doing what they do, but Cowboys look pretty scary, man.
Yeah, our friend Norm Hiska said it in his pregame comments. Why not Dallas this year, Sean?
They got all the pieces in place.
Yeah.
And the coaching scene is different, right? I mean, Jason Garrett is the head coach, and for a lot of people, that is the challenge. But, with Kellen Moore, I mean, he's the high. And the way the NFL is going, this time next year he could be a head coach somewhere. You know, if they're not careful.
Kellen, don't leave. Please don't leave. We need you.
Well, it won't be because of money, because Jerry will open the bank for an assistant coach.
That's right.
Well, we want to thank everybody for listening today. We are excited to be back. 3 episodes in just a little over a week, man. So we're producing some content. Make sure you tell your friends to listen to Deconstructing Dallas. Let them know that they can go to their podcast platform of choice, either Apple Podcasts, we're on Google Play, we are on Spotify, and for sure for you iPhone users, make sure that you go to Apple Podcasts and give us 5 stars and leave us a review. Let us know what you think. We want to thank our bosses here at Allyn Media, Jennifer Pascal and Mary Woodleaf. We want to thank our creative director and senior vice president, Bill Stipp, for taking a little bit of time out of his day to talk to us. We want to thank you, our listeners, for continuing to support our show, for downloading, for hitting us up on social media. You can find Ryan at rtrimble15 on Twitter. You can find me at Shawn, SHAWNP Williams on Twitter. So until the next time, we want to say, be safe. Adios.